Though I have read and heard many horror stories, I never believed in them until this encounter, and this is a true story that happened to me. One late winter night, I was traveling on a lonely road at midnight. I stared out into the endless blackness that enveloped the lonely road ahead. Rain pounded relentlessly on my windshield, casting an eerie backdrop for the night's journey. As I drove along the desolate stretch, a figure suddenly emerged from the darkness, a hitchhiker, standing drenched and desperate on the side of the road. Curiosity mingled with sympathy, and against my better judgment, I pulled over to offer a ride. The hitchhiker climbed into the passenger seat, their silhouette shrouded in mystery. A chill ran down my spine as I caught a glimpse of their pale, gaunt face and hollow eyes. Ignoring my unease, I mustered a friendly smile and asked where they needed to go. They replied in a hushed voice, barely audible above the rain, directing me to a remote location miles away from civilization. Something about their request unsettled me, but I hesitated to question them, fearing I might offend or provoke a reaction I wasn't prepared to handle. As we ventured deeper into the night, an inexplicable change came over the hitchhiker. Their demeanor shifted from gratitude to an unsettling silence, broken only by the rhythmic tapping of rain on the roof. I tried to engage in small talk, but their responses remained curt and cryptic. Unease gnawed at me, and I glanced at the rearview mirror, catching a glimpse of their reflection. To my horror, their eyes glowed with an otherworldly intensity. Fear gripped my heart, but it was too late to turn back. I was trapped with a passenger whose intentions were anything but ordinary. A bone-chilling aura filled the car, suffocating the air. Shadows danced along the roadside, distorting the familiar landscape into something sinister. The hitchhiker's presence seemed to grow more malevolent with each passing mile. As the minutes stretched into an eternity, I realized the true nature of the hitchhiker, a vengeful spirit, trapped in limbo, seeking solace in the torment of the living. Panic consumed me, and I desperately searched for an escape route, but the road stretched endlessly, with no signs of civilization or help. Suddenly, the hitchhiker's twisted smile pierced through the darkness, a sickening grin that sent shivers cascading down my spine. It was clear they had no intention of letting me go. Their spectral hand reached out, icy fingers grazing my arm, and I fought against an invisible force that threatened to drag me into their realm of eternal darkness. Summoning every ounce of courage, I slammed my foot on the accelerator, the engine roaring to life. The hitchhiker's wails echoed through the night, mingling with the sound of screeching tires. I raced against the forces of the supernatural, the haunting presence fading into the distance as I left it behind. Gasping for breath, I finally found myself in the safety of a bustling town. My hands trembled on the steering wheel as I vowed never to pick up another hitchhiker, knowing that night's encounter would forever haunt my memories. Before we continue, please subscribe, like, comment, and share. It so happened that I with my 4 friends decided to go on a night drive and explore the infamous abandoned highway. It was a road that had fallen into disuse and gained a sinister reputation over the years. Eager for an adventure, we set out on the desolate path, unaware of the horrors that awaited us. As we ventured further, a sense of unease settled upon us. The once well-maintained road now lay cracked and overrun by weeds, giving it an air of neglect and abandonment. The atmosphere grew heavy with an eerie silence, broken only by the sound of our car tires crunching on gravel. Our GPS glitched, unable to provide any guidance, leaving us to rely on our instincts as we continued along the winding path. The darkness engulfed us, and the headlights revealed glimpses of the looming trees that lined the road, their twisted branches casting grotesque shadows on the asphalt. With each passing mile, a feeling of isolation and foreboding washed over us. Our laughter and chatter dwindled, replaced by tense silence. The sense of being watched became palpable, as if unseen eyes followed our every move. Suddenly, the engine sputtered and died, leaving us stranded in the inky blackness. Panic gripped us, but we mustered the courage to step out of the vehicle, determined to find help. The stillness of the night seemed to suffocate us as we walked along the abandoned highway, our footsteps echoing ominously. As we progressed, whispers carried on the wind reached our ears, their voices faint and indiscernible. Shadows danced along the edges of our vision, playing tricks on our minds. Fear tightened its grip on us, our hearts pounding in our chests. Then, from the depths of the darkness, we heard a distant sound, an eerie, haunting melody. It grew louder, resonating through the abandoned highway, reverberating in our bones. We followed the sound, driven by both curiosity and trepidation until we reached a dilapidated building hidden in the overgrowth. Inside, we discovered a haunting scene, a gathering of forgotten souls, trapped in a limbo between life and death. Their eyes held the weight of endless sorrow, their whispers pleading for release from their eternal torment. We were now part of their macabre audience, forced to witness their tragic tales. Terrified, we turned to flee, but the building seemed to warp around us, trapping us within its walls. The spirits closed in, their ethereal forms merging with the darkness. We fought against an invisible force, desperately seeking an escape route, but the abandoned highway had become a labyrinth of despair. In a final act of desperation, we found a hidden passage, leading us to a long-forgotten tunnel beneath the road. We ran, gasping for breath, feeling the cold tendrils of the spirit's touch just inches behind us. Bursting into the open air, we found ourselves back on the familiar path, the abandoned highway vanishing behind us. I had always considered myself brave and unfazed by the supernatural as I embarked on a late-night drive, the darkness swallowing the world around me. The rhythmic hum of my engine provided solace as I traversed the winding road. The night air was thick with mystery, and an inexplicable unease settled in the pit of my stomach. As the miles stretched on, a sudden flicker in my rearview mirror caught my attention. A pair of headlights materialized, seemingly out of nowhere, tailing me closely. Puzzled, I peered into the darkness, struggling to make out the make and model of the vehicle. It appeared ethereal, as if a phantom had manifested on the road behind me. Curiosity mingled with trepidation, compelling me to maintain my pace while keeping an eye on the mysterious car. But as I sped up or slowed down, the phantom car mimicked my every move with uncanny precision, never drawing closer or falling behind. A chill ran down my spine, and a sense of foreboding settled upon me. Anxious thoughts raced through my mind. Was this some kind of elaborate prank? Or had I stumbled upon something beyond the realm of rational explanation? Determined to unravel the mystery, I decided to test the limits of the phantom car's persistence. I turned onto a deserted side road, its darkness engulfing me like a cloak. The phantom car followed suit, its presence an unsettling constant in my periphery. Panic gripped me, and my heart raced, realizing that this was no ordinary pursuit. There was something inherently supernatural about the vehicle that haunted my every move. With each twist and turn, I found myself descending further into the clutches of the unknown. Shadows danced along the road, whispering secrets I couldn't decipher. The phantom car maintained its pursuit, a ghostly presence, an embodiment of relentless determination. As the night wore on, exhaustion clawed at my senses, and the boundaries between reality and illusion began to blur. Time lost meaning as the phantom car and I became entangled in a macabre dance of fate. It seemed that the more I resisted, the stronger its grip on me became. In a desperate bid for escape, I accelerated to breakneck speeds, hoping to leave the spectral pursuer behind. But the phantom car matched my velocity effortlessly, its headlights piercing the night like malevolent eyes. My racing heart matched the rhythm of the engine as I realized I was trapped in a never-ending nightmare. The night stretched into an eternity, the road unraveling before me like a twisted path through the abyss. Fear and exhaustion threatened to consume me entirely. I yearned for the break of dawn, for the warmth of the sun's embrace to banish this supernatural torment. Finally, as the first rays of sunlight kissed the horizon, the phantom car began to fade, dissipating like mist. Relief washed over me, mingling with a profound sense of gratitude for surviving the ordeal. The road ahead, once plagued by darkness, now held the promise of a new beginning. It was 4:30 a.m. and I was on my way to the gym. As I was driving up the road, I saw a man in a white raincoat/trench coat walk past the street. He had a hat on and never looked at my car lights coming up. I remember thinking, why would anyone be walking at this time? I watch a lot of true crime, so I quickly locked my car because I was approaching the stop sign he just passed. I get there and there is no one in sight. There is no way he could have possibly walked that fast. This street did not have much, just a fence and a school up ahead, and to get anywhere your only option is to go straight to the next big street. At this point, I'm spooked and I'm freaking out, driving down the street thinking he's a ghost and would be sitting in my back seat. Needless to say, I never took that road again.